people were introduced to it through ChatGPT. And what I argue in the book, and what the title refers to, Empire of AI, it's actually a critique of the specific trajectory of AI development that led us to ChatGPT and has continued since ChatGPT. And that is specifically Silicon Valley's scale at all costs approach to AI development. AI models in modern day, they are trained on data. They need computers to train them on that data. But what Silicon Valley did and what OpenAI did in the last few years is they started blowing up the amount of data and the size of the computers that need to do this training. So we are talking about the full English language internet being fed into these models, books, scientific articles, all of the intellectual property that is being created, and also massive supercomputers that run tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of computer chips that are the size of dozens, maybe hundreds of football fields, and use practically the entire energy demands of cities now. So this is an extraordinary type of AI development that is causing a lot of social, labor, and environmental harms, and that is ultimately why I evoke this analogy to empire.
And Karen, could you talk some more about not only the energy requirements, but the water requirements of these huge data centers that are, in essence, the backbone of this widening industry?
Absolutely. I'll give you two stats on both the energy and the water. When talking about the energy demand, McKinsey recently came out with a report that said in the next 5 years, based on the current pace of AI computational infrastructure expansion, we would need to put as much energy on the global grid as what is consumed by 2 to 6 times the energy consumed annually by the state of California. And that will mostly be serviced by fossil fuels. We're already seeing reporting of coal plants with their lives being extended. They were supposed to retire, but now they cannot to support this data center development. We are seeing methane gas turbines, unlicensed ones, being popped up to service these data centers as well. From a fresh water perspective, these data centers need to be trained on fresh water. They cannot be trained on any other type of water because it can corrode the equipment, it can lead to bacterial growth, and most of the time it actually taps directly into a public drinking water supply because that is the infrastructure that has been laid to deliver this clean, fresh water to different businesses, to different homes. And Bloomberg recently had an analysis where they looked at the expansion of these data centers around the world, and 2/3 of them are being placed in water scarce areas. So they're being placed in communities that do not have access to fresh water. So it's not just the total amount of fresh water that we need to be concerned about, but actually the distribution of this infrastructure around the world.
And most people are familiar with ChatGPT, the consumer aspect of AI. But what about the military aspect of AI, where, in essence, we're finding Silicon Valley companies becoming the next generation of defense contractors?
One of the reasons why OpenAI and many other companies are turning to the defense industry is because they have spent an extraordinary amount of money in developing these technologies. They're spending hundreds of billions to train these models, and they need to recoup those costs. And there are only so many industries and so many places that have that size of a paycheck to pay. And so that's why we're seeing a cozying up to the defense industry. We're also seeing Silicon Valley use the US government in their empire building ambitions. You could argue that the US government is also trying to use Silicon Valley, vice versa, in their empire building ambitions. But certainly these technologies are not designed to be used in a sensitive military context. And so the aggressive push of these companies to try and get those defense contracts and integrate their technologies more and more into the infrastructure of the military is really alarming.
I wanted to go to the countries you went to or the stories you covered. I mean, this is amazing, the depth of your reporting. From Kenya to Uruguay to Chile. You were talking about the use of water, and I also want to ask you about nuclear power. Yeah. But in Chile, what is happening there around these data centers and the water they would use and the resistance to that?
Yeah, so Chile has an interesting history in that it was under a dictatorship for a very long time. And so during that time, most public resources were privatized, including water. But because of an anomaly, there's one community in the greater Santiago metropolitan region that actually still has access to a public freshwater resource that services both that community as well as the rest of the country in emergency situations. That is the exact community that Google chose to try to put a data center in. And they proposed for their data center to use 1,000 times more fresh water than that community used annually.
And it would be free.
And it, you know, I have no idea. That is a great question. But what the community told me was they weren't even paying taxes for this because they believed, based on reading the documentation, that the taxes that Google was paying was in fact to where they had registered their offices, their administrative offices, not where they were putting down the data center. So they were not seeing any benefit from this data center directly to that community, and they were seeing no checks placed on the fresh water that this data center would have been allowed to extract. And so these activists said, wait a minute, absolutely not. We're not going to allow this data center to come in unless they give us a legitimate reason for why it benefits us. And so they started doing boots on the ground activism, pushing back, knocking on every single one of their neighbors' doors, handing out flyers to the community, telling them this company is taking our freshwater resources without giving us anything in return. And so they escalated so dramatically that it escalated to Google Chile, it escalated to Google Mountain View, which, by the way, then sent representatives to Chile that only spoke English. But then it eventually escalated to the Chilean government, and the Chilean government now has roundtables where they ask these community residents and the company representatives and representatives from the government to come together to actually discuss how to make data center development more beneficial to the community. The activists say the fight is not over. Just because they've been invited to the table doesn't mean that everything is suddenly better. They need to stay vigilant. They need to continue scrutinizing these projects. But thus far, they've been able to block this project for 4 to 5 years and have gained that seat at the table.
And how?
So before we go any further, you know, Lord willing, you heard that video. We're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, HaKodash. All right, Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, whom the word ignorantly know is God. Jehovah and Yahweh, Yahweh Shah is the name of his only begotten Son, our King, Lord, and Savior, whom the world ignorantly know as Jesus Christ. Ba'ashem, HaKodash is in the name of the Holy Spirit, the inspiration given to us to edify those that be given the ears to hear. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles and bishops and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, salutation to the hopeful elect, and shalom to the believers that subscribe at least to this truth wholehearted through spirit power, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai. All right. So yeah, what you was just listening to was pretty much what the priest Yashamath was bringing out in his live stream lesson last night concerning the AI empire. And I just wanted to respond to the video. This pretty much is a respond, and you know, just hit some other things like in the scriptures and some other points, you know, concerning this artificial intelligence age that we're coming into, man, which is ultimately what Esau Edom's New World Order is about. All right, the age of artificial intelligence is the end that we are seeing manifest, that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he's going to come back and destroy. All right, now as you see the title of the live stream, AI, beware of AI. All right, least Satan should get advantage. And you heard as the video was ending, she spoke about how people are giving blowback about these Google data centers and supercomputer data centers consuming all the resources. All right, now mind you, Esau Edom was given what? The fatness of the earth by means of what? The sword. Artificial intelligence is an extension of Esau Edom's sword. All right, and I want to open up with this precept. If you'll get Isaiah 24, if you had something else, you know, you already want to load, you had loaded up, you could get that too. But I'm gonna get this precept right here concerning what she said about being vigilant, right? So this is 1 Peter, if you'll get the word vigilant for me. Okay. 1 Peter 5:8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walked about seeking whom he may devour. And the fact of the matter is, the masses of these people on the planet Earth, they are ignorant of who Satan is, all right, who the devil is, and they're ignorant of the work that he's doing in the earth and how he's deceiving them. Okay, because majority, especially this new generation of demons that's coming up, right? These what they call them, Gen Zs, alphas, and you know, YNs, they're eating up this age of artificial intelligence and technology. They're abusing it, right? Now, of course, we use it to look up information and, you know, get certain facts brought to the table concerning the scriptures. But even still, we have to be aware of that. Yeah. Because one thing, AI, when you go on the phone and you use AI, you use Google, you know, a lot of these articles and stuff that it brings to the forefront is according to the data that you already be searching out. You know, these phones are already designed to know what you're looking at, what you're searching out, what you're studying, who you're talking to, you know, the algorithm. It's an algorithm, and AI gives us answers according to what we already are into, you know, and what we already are searching out. So that's the reason why I can Google something and give this brother the exact phrase I Googled, a word or whatever I Googled, and it'll give him a whole nother overview. Sure will. You know, from phone to phone, it'll differ. So we're living in a time where the main ones that he's going to try to deceive is Jake. All right, and it begins with the Lord's elect. He wants to deceive the very elect, man. Okay, so this message of us being vigilant concerning AI is very vital to receive and understand, you know, because we know 2/3 they already gone. They not going to, you know, 2/3 of our people, they're going to eat this up and they're going to take their chip. Yeah. You know, you got it, bro.
It's the word vigilant in the Blue Letter Bible in the Greek. Play it.
Strong's G 1127. Gregareo.
Outline of biblical usage: to watch, give strict attention to.
Yeah, watch, give strict attention to. You know, yeah. And this is ultimately what the elect are going to be doing. You know, as the Lord has called us out to be watchmen over Israel. You know, we're the only ones that's truly going to be paying attention to how this devil is moving in the earth, you know, being circumspect about his different systems that he's setting up, you know, because the fact of the matter is AI ain't nothing but a system of deception, right? And it's obvious. Even when you, like, Lord we'll get this word artificial. I know you had something you already want to bring out. We'll get this word artificial here in a minute. It's obvious that it's not for your benefit, you know. Like she was talking about the people trying to see what benefit is them taking our fresh water. You know, what benefit is in it for the people, for the, you know, these data centers to take their fresh water. It's not for your benefit. No. You know, it's ultimately for your destruction. And this is what Esau Edom, it says he's seeking to devour you. And when you out here without no fresh water, you know, that leads to famine, because fresh water is needed to survive, man.
The water need.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
It's some more on the definition of the word vigilant. It said give strict attention to, be cautious, active, to take heed lest through remission and indolence some destructive calamity suddenly overtake one.
And again, all this artificial intelligence about with these supercomputers and these data centers is putting in information so that they can have it linked in with the MOTB. And once you get that MIC embedded in your hand or forehead or wherever you get it in your body, once you take that mark, now they can fill you with prompts, right? Because the priest of Yashamath, he was going into how powerful the AI is now. They could just set up prompts, right? Which I want to get that word in the etymology too. You know, Lord willing, we could get a lot of information down in this short amount of time. You know, Shalom Akim, Yabashim Shah Brakathon.
I just want to, you know, that phrase, right? It say indolence.
Yeah, indolence, the water,
which
bro.
Going to laziness.
Yeah.
Right? So indolence, some destructive calamity suddenly takes one. Pretty much like laziness can lead to your misfortune. You know, can catch you off guard. You know, that's why you gotta be watchful. It's good to say what measure the time, diligent in itself. But you say you want to get AI pump?
Yeah, did you get the word indolence? It said just go. What did it say?
Oh, okay. Let me get that.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that when you said it. You know, when you said that word.
Yeah, it said indolence, avoidance of activity or exhaustion, laziness.
Yeah. So basically, idleness, idle hands. You know, not searching out, watching, not seeking these things out and seeing what it's about. You know, and that's something that we as servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we can't do. We have to be mindful of the moves that the devil is making, okay? So that we won't get caught off guard, you know? So we won't be deceived. You got it, bro.
This is on it.
Yep, and the priest, you know, he also was going into how we're in the time now where brothers got to be rooted, man, you know? Your mind has to constantly be on this work, you know, because it's so much going on in the earth, especially in Babylon with all these different policies going forth. What that shit called the big bill. What the fuck that shit called? That's going on. The big beautiful bill, you know. Don't forget about how Stargate, you know, they came out talking about investing 500 million or $500 billion into Stargate, you know. And you go into that, it's getting into opening up a wormhole. So Esau has all type of devices in motion to destroy niggas, man. Okay.
Meanwhile, the people distracted with Diddy and shit like that.
Yeah.
Playoffs,
the NBA finals. You know, all of these different things going on. He has so many things in motion to keep you blinded from the truth. You know, and ultimately, he wants the elect. You know, he wants the elect, man. He wants to get men that's walked in this truth and get them complacent, you know, get them caught up into the different wiles out here, you know, like the scriptures say, the wiles of the devil. And there's so many different angles that he can come at you with. All right. But what did you have?
All right, Ephesians.
Go ahead.
This is Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil.
Yeah, redeeming the times because the days are evil. And ultimately we buy back. Redeeming the times meaning the days are evil, so we want to buy back righteousness. We want to bring back righteousness, which is what Yahweh Shai is going to bring. How do we do that? By occupying in prophecy, by staying and meditating on the scriptures. That's how we buy back with our time and being consumed with prophecy, man. Okay, and we understand how these things that Esau Edom is doing is tying into prophecy, you know, because show you, like I was saying, how the artificial intelligence is an extension of that sword. Because what were they talking about in the video? How it relates to the military.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, military.
Yeah. Yeah. So the more information that they have, the stronger their militaries are. You know? And they have ability to use deceptive war tactics against these other countries. And what was the main other place they was talking about was Chile, which that's who? Argentina and Chile. That's Brazil. Asher.
No.
Colombia to Uruguay is Asher. Argentina to Chile is Naphtali. Yep, Naphtali.
That's it.
Right. So yeah, that's Jake, man. Okay.
Yeah, Jake
Northern Kingdom. And just like, you know, it's going on over there in South America, it's going on over here in North America, in the United States, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. You know, with the that's what the brother was going into. You know, when I just happened to, you know, click on this video, and Salakia, bro, I know I ain't been, you know, I ain't been tuning in to your lives as much. Kind of been, you know, watching everything, but I just happened through the spirit to catch it, and the brother was asking me about you know, the resources that they're using over here for their supercomputer, which the water over here is supposed to be amongst the freshest water in the world. Matter of fact, Google that real quick. Does Memphis have the freshest water in the world? Okay. You know, so they're not using that, because the whole Mississippi River is there, and they, you know, instead of using the river water, they're using the water from the aquifer, you know, which is an underground fresh water source that we have here that produces like 1 trillion gallons of water. So
they said Memphis has the best drinking water among American citizens.
Yeah, and it's been said to be some of the best water in the world.
Yeah,
you know, cleanest, sweet. They call it sweet water, Memphis sweet water. Yep. What it say?
It says, that's it, right?
Yeah, Memphis Sands Aquifer. Yep, that's it. Yep.
Okay, it said Memphis Sand Aquifer. Memphis draws its drinking water from this ancient aquifer, which is protected by layers of clay and sand. Okay. It says studies have consistently shown Memphis to have high quality drinking water, ranking it among the cleanest in the U.S.
Yeah, ranking it amongst the cleanest in the U.S. So this is where they are.
Hey, there you go. It said Memphis may have the sweetest water in the world.
Memphis may have the sweetest water in the world. There you go. So that's why they deciding to build these supercomputer facilities around the regions where the water is the cleanest and the purest, you know, because they got into how, you know, if the water's not clean, it'll cause bacteria. And you know what it made me think of? The Matrix, man. When you go to that scene in the Matrix where Neo is first taken out of the Matrix, not where he takes the pill, but where he's actually at in that computer generated minefield, where he's basically like in an incubator, right? And you had all of those humans in that big field in the incubators, and they had to go and pull him out of there. And then when they pulled him out of there, he came back. They put the acupuncture needles in him and stuff like that, you know, and they was telling him that you never breathed before. He's like, why my eyes hurt? Because you never used them before, right?
Never used them before.
So like, go to that word prompt when you get a chance, unless you have some more on there.
I just type in, does Memphis have its own water supply? And, you know, yes, it's the sand aquifer, you know.
Yeah, the Memphis Sands aquifer, you know. So basically, like, the Matrix had actually took humans and used them for resources to supply to the computers. When you go into the Matrix, if you've never seen the movie before, you know, if you have, you understand what I'm talking about, because Morpheus explained it to him. You know, basically turn humans into energy supply for the machines, for the robots, okay? And this is what it's coming down to. That movie is one of the most spiritual movies, like, that's out there, as it pertains to what the devil is doing. You know, he's giving you a computer generated, that's what we said, you've been in a computer generated dream world. This is what AI wants to give you, a dream world where nothing is real. You can't tell what's real and what's fake. You know, the fact of the matter is, people go and buy artificial shit every day and are absolutely oblivious to what artificial means.
Yeah, what's the Apple Pro Vision, the Oracles.
Yeah, Oculus.
Oculus.
Yeah, yeah.
Video games.
Yeah.
You know.
But I'm talking about the food.
The food. Oh yeah, yeah.
The food.
Yeah.
You know. Matter of fact, before you get the word prompt, let's get the word artificial, and I'm gonna get this precept while you getting that. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11, and it reads, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." You know, and this is something that really only applies to the Lord's elect. Again, we're the only ones that are not ignorant to his devices. Jake is ignorant. Jake don't look up words. Jake don't go and search out what these politicians be, these policies they be putting into play. You know, Jake just out here living, walking blindly, just living in gross darkness, man. You know, and anything that makes them feel good, anything that makes them, you know, hyped up, you know.
Yeah. Like trend.
Yeah, like this new Glorilla signing bitch. She got a song that just went viral, and all it's talking about is hype me up, hype me up. Why you think the song go viral? Why? Look and listen to, because that's what Esau want to do. He want to hype you up.
Oh shit! I think I looked that word hype up before.
Yeah, look that word hype up. We got so many words lined up, but
yeah. Oh yeah, I did. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's the word hype in the etymology: excessive or misleading publicity or adversity. How you say it?
Excessive or misleading publicity.
Publicity.
Yeah, or advertising.
Advertising.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah, excessive. You know, and this is what Esau wants, man. You know, he wants you to be excessive. He wants you to be engulfed in the confusion of Babylon. And artificial intelligence is the main weapon now that he's about to come down and bring forth his wrath with, man. Meanwhile, you are all hyped up about, you know, the new iPhone, the what they call that shit, the virtual reality, the VR,
yeah, virtual reality.
The virtual reality. You all hyped up behind all of this shit, and meanwhile he's taking all the resources. He behind closed doors is taking the water, taking the food supply, taking the energy. You know, while he giving you artificial shit.
Yeah, let's hit on that.
Go ahead with artificial.
Okay. This is the word artificial in the etymology, late 14th century, not natural.
Not natural. Go ahead.
Or spontaneous. That you say right?
Yeah, spontaneous. Go ahead.
Okay. It's of or belonging to art. A work of art, skill, theory, system.
Yeah, a work of art, skill, theory, system. A system, man. You know, he's giving you a system that's not natural. All right, and the whole way that he governs and manages the earth is not natural.
Yeah, made by men.
Made by men. You know, go down some more. Yep, go down some more. It's some other points in there.
Yeah, it said craftsman, artist, master of an art. To do, to make, to sit, to put. It said the meaning made by man, contrived by human skill and labor, is from early 15th century. The word was applied from 16th century to anything made in imitation of, or as a substitute for what is natural.
A substitute for what is natural, man. You know? And so you're going to have artificial God, like, you know, basically he's going to use the AI to bring back all of these idols and make you believe that these gods are real, you know, which AI in itself is going to be likened unto a god. You know, people are going to worship this system. You know?
Elon Musk said it. The next God is coming out of Memphis.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
What he said.
That's it. And it's a little bit more on there when you read down.
It said the meaning
fictitious.
Yeah, fictitious.
Yeah, fictitious, not genuine, insincere.
Insincere,
yeah. So it's a lie. You know, it's not intelligence. The word artificial means it's not genuine intelligence. It's not natural. It's fictitious.
It's not real.
It's pseudoscience. Yeah. It's not real intelligence, man. Okay? And the intelligence that it actually comes from is demons.
Yeah.
Okay? What the brother say? ChatGPT changed its name to Spellbook. Yeah.
Damn.
Huh.
For real?
Oh, that's some new information right there. ChatGPT is recently changed its name to Spellbook. And you know what spell mean, you know? So, yep, beautiful precept. Yep, Yakanan, a GMS, Memphis Yakanan by Romans 1:25, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie. Yeah, because the natural way of doing things is the order that the Most High set up. Okay, but Esau Edom has come up with his own means of life. All right, of how to go about life, his own system of living, which is an artificial system of living. Right? It says, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And this is what the devil wants. He wants you to worship everything but the Most High. And he wants to give you all the avenues to do so. And the ultimate way for him to do this is with artificial intelligence and implementing that C-HIP, right? Implementing that mark, all right? That's what the beast system is about. Okay.
Yeah, you know what move I'm thinking about now is Divergent. You know,
I need to go back and watch that movie.
You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
Divergent.
But you can speak on it.
I ain't gonna speak on it.
Well, brothers didn't seen it know what he talking about. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but you know what? Because it's got like
it's like the Matrix.
It's like the Matrix.
And they if you was a Divergent, they want to kill you pretty much. Because really you know what it is. You can discern if it's real or not.
And they don't want you to be able to discern what's real and what's not.
Exactly.
So so basically that's the elect.
That's the virgins are pretty much the elect.
Yeah.
They actually show, I want to say what the last part of it, the last one, pretty much that showed the C-HIP people. You know, they used the C-HIP.
Yeah.
They used the C-HIP on you, and it didn't work. They pretty much killed you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What was we at?
We was on that word, but I had this word demon.
Yeah, demon, right? Because artificial intelligence that we're seeing manifesting in the earth right now, it actually comes from demons.
You know what? Want me to look up intelligence first or demon?
No, you got to look up intelligence right now. You go to demon, right? Okay. We'll save intelligence for the last.
This is demon in the etymology, which is what? An evil spirit, right? So it said the usual ancient Greek sense, supernatural agent or intelligence lower than a god. Yeah, supernatural intelligence or agent lower than a god. Yep.
So AI is a demon, man. Okay. And it says a demon is supernatural intelligence, which ultimately Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, he authorized these demons, all right, to Salakia. What shit? He authorized these demons to blind Jake, to send Jake strong delusions. You know, because demons are actually angels. As a matter of fact, get 2 Corinthians 11 and 14.
Okay.
You know.
It's 2 Corinthians 11.
So why you really looking at how Esau Edom is moving with this technology? Everything that he has pretty much, like the ability to fly, the ability to the internet, you know, the Lord gave him this power, but he allowed demons to get Esau's mind set to these inventions. You know, he allowed demons to work on Esau's minds to create these inventions. You know, go ahead.
This is 2 Corinthians 11:14.
Mm-hmm.
And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed to an angel of light.
There you go. So angels are demons. You know, Satan is an angel. The word angel means messenger, right? Now let's go. You have more?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
15. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed.
His ministers are the demons.
Yep.
It's the servants of Satan, which you got the physical servants of Satan, which is Esau, Edom. They're demons, all right. And then you have the spiritual ministers of Satan, all right, which are all servants of they're just angels on the left hand side. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, he still is in control of Satan and the demons. They're not doing anything without his authorization, man.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
Okay, so at the end of the day, we at his mercy. But if we don't hear his word, we don't hear his righteousness, then we're gonna walk like blind men. He's telling us to watch. He's telling us to beware of the devil. To all these things that are going on, the Lord didn't give us no excuse to say, well, we didn't know this was going on. We didn't know that the devil was the so-called white man.
Nice.
We didn't know he was set up to destroy the earth and take all the resources and make our lives a living hell, you know?
Yep. That's why I said, if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, unless the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Yep.
Or to paraphrase.
At least it also say,
let the glorious light.
I'll get it. This 2 Corinthians, because we stuttering over too much, so I'm just gonna get it. 2 Corinthians 4:4, starting at verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach. Well, hold on. How you gonna know it's the gospel of Yahweh Shai? And not the gospel of and not the gospel of Satan.
Yeah, right.
Because it says Satan transformed himself into an angel of light.
And his ministers themselves also.
So things like that, GPT, OpenAI, these things are going to be used as devices to get spiritual information, you know. But you got spiritual information on the left hand side.
You got to have the Lord's Spirit.
You got to have the Lord's Spirit to be able to discern. And this is where, like the brother was saying, this is where we have to be rooted in the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Because he's going to be able to easily convince people that he's God. Like, even if you ask Google, hey, Google, who is God? Google will tell you, I've had it before. Well, Google will tell you Google's God. You know, see if it'll do it for you.
I bet. Who is God? Oh, he say Google.
Hey, so read it, bro. Now just read it. Just read it. Just read it. Read what you typed in and read what it give you, right?
I just said Google, who is God? It said, how you say it? Monotheistic?
And mono. And mono. Oh. Yeah, monotheistic belief systems.
Yeah, God is usually revealed as the supreme being, creator, and principal object of faith. Principal
object of faith, right? Go ahead.
In polytheistic belief systems, a God is the spirit or being believed to have created or for controlling some part of the universe of life, for which such a deity is often worshipped.
Where it say Google it? Where it say Google it?
I seen the image. So like.
Oh yeah, it did pull up Google. Yeah. But it was like, I remember Googling it on my phone. It just said it straight out. Google is God. You know, Google is your God. So this is what Esau Edom has set up in the earth to deceive you, man. He set up this technology, this artificial intelligence, all right, to be able to directly give you messages about anything that you want to know, you know, anything that you think you curious about, You know?
Yeah. It's just a lot of articles that saying here comes some proofs that Google is God.
Oh, do this. Is Google God? Type it in like that. Is Google God?
Okay.
Yeah. But it's a way I put it in there. I asked them and say, yeah, Google is God. Yeah.
GPT.
Yeah. But no, go to that word prompt, right? Because when you go to the, like, we just got through reading about Satan and the God of this world, right? Which is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, Esau, Edom. The word Satan means messenger, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see what prompt, what it say about prompt in the etymology.
Okay, prompt in the etymology, it said to incite to action, urge.
To incite to action, urge.
To bring forth, forward, to take.
Yep. Go ahead.
The meaning coach someone. It says
to coach someone.
Yeah, to coach someone.
To coach someone. Go ahead.
It says a learner or speaker by suggesting something forgotten or imperfectly.
By suggesting something forgotten.
Yep.
You know? And what have our people ultimately forgotten? Their power. They forgotten Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. The world has forgotten who God is. You know?
Yep.
Go ahead.
They say by suggesting something forgotten or imperfectly learned or known is from early 15th century. Specifically in a theatrical sense of to assist a speaker with lines.
Yeah, that's it. Prompt the noun. Read that one. That's
prompt
the one.
The noun.
Yep.
Okay, this prompt in the noun, early 15th century. Readiness, right? Readiness. It said meaning, hint, information.
Hint.
Yeah, hint.
Hint, information suggested. Yep.
Act of prompting. The computer sense of message given by a computer.
Message given by a computer. See? And that's the point I wanted.
Yeah.
Information suggested. It's a prompt is information suggested. Message given by a computer. You know, and ultimately, the angels are Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah's computer. Because you go to that word computer, it means to compute, right? Let's get that word real quick. I know we've been hitting a lot of words, but this is what you got to do to really get understanding of how Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah is in complete control, man. Right? What it say?
It said 1640s. Ones who calculates a reckoner, one whose occupation is to make it was.
Ones whose occupation is to make arithmetical. That's even a tongue twister for me. Arithmetical. Calculations. Yep. It says agent noun from compute. So the word computer comes from compute.
Yep.
So go ahead.
And compute means determined by calculation.
Right. So
to sum them up.
So
to count.
Right. And I got a couple of precepts that go with that. If you get Job, seeing your days are determined, you know, calculated, meaning his days are numbered, they're calculated. And when you go here into the Apocrypha in here, right? Yep.
Yeah, it's in there.
When you go to 2nd Esdras, you could get that first.
You said Job.
Seeing his
14 and 5.
Yep.
This is Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Right. See? So that means his days are already computed by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. The Heavenly Father is already, he's already got everything calculated and searched out. Yeah. Everything is already set. Matter of fact, it's a precept that you brought out one time. It was so cold. It's in Ecclesiastes. It's in a different translation. I want to say it's Ecclesiastes 6. Everything is already determined.
Oh, yeah.
But while you getting that, I'm going to get this. This is 2nd Esdras. Second Ezra chapter 16 and starting at verse 61. Second Ezra 16:61. He made man and put his heart in the midst of his body and gave him spirit, life, understanding, and the breath of the almighty power. He that hath made everything and searcheth out all hidden things in the secret places of the earth. He knoweth your sin and what you think in your hearts when ye sin and seek to hide your sin. Therefore hath the Lord diligently searched out all your works, and he prepare for all of you an evil judgment. It's worded a little different in this translation.
Yeah, I need
I know it says, surely he knoweth your inventions and what you think in your, and see, in this one it don't use
Thomas Nelson.
Nah, you pull it up on your phone.
Oh yeah, I just do that. I think I'll put that on the house.
Pull it up on your phone because it used the word surely he knoweth your inventions and what you think in your heart and how you would hide. Yep.
Yeah, so this is Thomas Nelson. He got it worded a little different.
Yep.
So this is Second Ezra 16.
It's 63, I think, or 62. Yep.
Yeah, I started 62.
Yep.
It said, yeah, in the spirit of almighty power, which made all things and searching out all hidden things in the secrets of the earth. Surely he know your inventions.
Yep. And
what you think in your hearts, even them that sin and will hide their sins.
Right. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he already got everything calculated, right? He has the ultimate computer. The supercomputer is the mind of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah,
you know, he has all the intelligence. Yep, he has the highest faculty of the mind. Yep, the highest faculty of the mind. That's what intelligence means, man. Yep. So you can get your other precept.
Yeah, you call for it. You know, let me just read it.
Yep.
Ecclesiastes 6 and 10.
In the NLT.
Yeah, the NLT.
Yep.
Ecclesiastes 6 and 10 in the NLT. It reads, everything has been already. So like everything has already been decided.
Everything's already been calculated. The Lord ain't, you know, his system has already been implemented, man. You know? Yep. That's one of my favorite precepts too. Yeah, it's from the brother Damawati, Shalom Akyah. I was just
thinking about that precept too.
Psalms 147 and 5. Great is our Lord and great power. His understanding is infinite. So you can't calculate his understanding. That means he is intelligence. He's the embodiment of intelligence. The intelligence goes into the highest faculty of the mind.
Yep.
But Esau Edom, he don't want you to share the intelligence that the Most High has, because the Most High's intelligence is righteous intelligence. He wants you to have false, lies, fictitious yeah. Yeah. He don't want you to have genuine intelligence, man.
Nah.
That way he could deceive you and tell you, well, this is water, this is food, this is air, this, you know.
It's like the cartoon movie WALL-E. If you ain't seen that growing up.
Yeah.
You know.
This a man, this a woman, this a boy, this a girl.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You're gonna be fucked up out here living under Esau Edom's system, man. You know?
This is Ecclesiastes 6 and 10 in the NLT. Everything has already been decided. It was known long ago what each person would be. So there's no use arguing with the Most High about your destiny.
There you go. And when people come and argue with us about the scriptures and concerning what prophecy foretells, and you know, where the earth is flat, and all these weak ass arguments, there ain't no point of us going back, because they already been computed. This information has already. They're the Most High's prompts. These, like Esau is the Most High prompt. We are the Most High prompt at the end of the day, but he's already programmed them with these messages and sealed their fate with real intelligence. You know, and unless you have faith in your Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you gonna fall to artificial intelligence, man. So I'm gonna end it there, bro. Lord will, y'all were edified. Did you have anything?
No, that's it, bro. That's it.
Lord will, you were edified. We'll give all praises, honor, and glory once again to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh. All right, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, sad taste to the hopeful elect. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.